Fast forward, any come up our channel you so GH Politics Avenue. When you podcast or training because making headlines. Ne jembre na yedi bi exomo e wa ha ne dem nya honraksimo. Message say yankwe ensem. Na ye kwe ensem a aye former national service authority deputy director aye Gifty or Mensa high court etimi a grant on a 10 million bill with 3 sureties and ban from leaving the country and no enyaksem koto akra. Onia me no ka say dia ma me no enya dia obetimi etukwan akwa amano ne se bia okwa akodwodwo no gisi bia court amane kwanyansa ne nyina ne se me no ka say court amane bill se onko na onko dwodwo no ho onko je na home ne mom ye diska atuni tiri so 10 million Ghana cedi se in case say bibini ne se wantimi baby ma then japadi bi esombo aye bitimi e de aton na ye de enya sesika no ne aye ne sa pepepe yemo ransem num ne hwe ne yekọ ne de ba ha GH Politics Avenue.
We're going on to some other stories still on legal matters now. Right, so we are staying on legal issues because the Accra High Court has granted former Deputy Director of the National Service Authority, Gifty Mensah, a bail of 10 million Ghana cedis with 3 sureties after pleading not guilty to multiple offences, including money laundering. Mensah is accused of generating over 9,000 ghost names through which she stole more than 38 million Ghana cedis. Lord Edwasare was in court and reports.
Gifty Mensah has been charged with 5 counts of offences, namely stealing, willfully causing financial loss to the state, using public office for profit, and money laundering. In court on Wednesday, October 22, lawyers of Gifty Mensah, led by Nana Benyi Akun, holding brief for Gary Nemako, prayed for bail for the former deputy director, citing that she is not flight risk. He told the court that Gifty is a mother of a 3-year-old child and has cooperated with investigators since reporting herself to the National Investigations Bureau. Akun further noted that the former NSA deputy director is undergoing medical treatment, a fact he added had been communicated to the prosecution. Prosecution, led by Director of Public Prosecution Yvonne Atakra-Bobisa, did not oppose the bail application, but added that it should be one that would compel the accused to appear when called upon. Justice Audrey Kokuvite, after hearing from both counsel, granted Gifty Mensah a bail of 10 million Ghana cedis with 3 sureties, 2 to be justified with landed properties. The sureties are also to deposit the Ghana cards and residential addresses to the registrar of the court. The court additionally ordered her to report to police investigators on the first Tuesday and Thursday of every month. She is also to deposit her passport with the registrar, and her name is to be placed on the stop list at all entry points in the country. The court also ordered the prosecution to further disclosures before November 19, and the case has been adjourned to November 25. Lord Idwasare, TV3 News, Accra.
Also, a 45-year-old French teacher at the Laboni Senior High School, Godwin Adigbale, is facing a charge of indecent assault after allegedly molesting a female student of the school. The French teacher has pleaded not guilty to the charge and has been granted a bail of 50,000 cedis with 2 sureties. Lord Idwasare reports again.
Appearing before the district court at the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit at the police headquarters in Accra, the prosecution indicated that the 45-year-old inserted his fingers into the private parts of the 16-year-old female student. Per the brief facts, the prosecution alleged that Gordon admitted to inserting his fingers into the victim's private parts and kissed her for a few minutes in the French lab of the school on August 28. He was subsequently arrested on September 1, 2025, after the incidents were reported to the school authorities and the guardians of the victim. In court on Wednesday, October 22, lawyers of the Laboni Senior High School French teacher, led by Ernest Besemete, pleaded for bail for the accused, noting that he had cooperated with investigators and was in a police inquiry bail. The prosecution did not oppose the bail application, but prayed that he reports to the police regularly for investigations. The court then granted Gordon Adigbale a 50 Ghana cedis bail with 2 sureties to be justified. The court also ordered him to report to the police every 2 weeks at the cantonment's police station until the final determination of the case. The presiding judge ordered the prosecution to further disclosures before the next hearing and adjourned the case to December 10 for continuation. Lodido Asare, TV3 News, Accra.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor continues to spark controversy as it now faces intense scrutiny 8 years after it was set up. The Ombudsman is plagued by questions about its effectiveness in securing convictions and making significant financial recoveries despite receiving millions of cedis in funding. Evelyn Tingma has more in the following report.
Reports are rife. The OSP, since its establishment 8 years ago, has had 7 convictions, but no one has been jailed, with 13 pending cases. Be as it may, the OSP said it has been able to recover monies, saving millions of cedis for the country, including $40 million through disruption of counterfeit syndicates, 128 million cedis recovered in assets and cash in the first half of 2025, and 106,309 Ghana cedis recovered in full from a payroll fraud scheme involving the Ghana Education Service. The OSP continues to pursue new cases and recoveries, including the case involving former Chief Executive of the National Petroleum Authority, Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid, and 9 others accused of extorting over 291.5 million Ghana cedis and $323,407. But a cross-section of the public is not satisfied. They want persons jailed, urging the OSP to do more and stop defending itself at the least.
If the issue is to just get people to pay back monies, then I'll spend the money, then later I'll give you back the money and I'm gone. So people need to be prosecuted. As long as when someone commits a crime, they will send a person to court and to jail. People have to go through that process to help deter others from also doing some acts. He's not willing to prosecute that man.
One way or the other, they are doing their work, but more is to be done and they shouldn't just lay back. We have a lot of corruption going on as it stands now, and we have to actually face it squarely. Ghanaians are now awake, and we require accountability and all that, so they shouldn't take Ghanaians for granted as it stands now, because we are all watching and we are all listening, and we want things to be done right.
Some have also expressed concern about the OSP's budget allocation, with some questioning whether the office is providing value for money.
Suspension of salary should be done immediately at the office for the next 3 months, giving him a tax. Go and retrieve whoever has embezzled so much, and then after the 3 months, when that tax is done, you can come for all the 3 months salary. So work must be done on performance, not sitting in the office with documentations, reading them, movement to and fro, and yet taxpayers' monies are being used to resource them. This is not acceptable.
Some, including MPs, called for a thorough review of the OSP's performance to ensure accountability and value for money. The review aims to assess the OSP's effectiveness and identify areas for improvement. As the OSP faces intense scrutiny, the question remains whether the office can deliver on its mandate and make a meaningful impact in the fight against corruption. Evelyn Tingma, TV3 News, Accra.
To some more news this evening, the anti-LGBTQ bill is back on the front burner in Parliament. Minority members are now accusing government of deliberate tactics to avoid passing it into law. The bill was advertised on Tuesday when the House reconvened, but it was missing the next day, with claims that the Speaker was not aware of its reintroduction. Christian Yale chronicles what transpired in Parliament.
It all started when the Majority Leader indicated during a media engagement with the press corps that the anti-LGBTQ bill was passed by the last Parliament and was sent to the presidency, and so there is no need to reintroduce it.
My recollection is that it was passed by Parliament already, and the issue was giving it a presidential assent. So that is where it should be taken up. I don't see why anybody should bring us a bill that we have passed already. I think the step is to push for it to be given the assent.
If you maintain that it was passed, and so ordinarily it shouldn't be brought back. How do you juxtapose it, knowing that ordinarily it must have died with the 8th Parliament? Again, Leader, you supervise the business committee, so how did it feature on the order paper if you claim you were not aware?
I was at business committee. You were at business committee. Was it discussed? No, it wasn't discussed. Now, the Constitution says that if a bill is not passed and then the life of the Parliament expires, then it lapses. But this one was passed. If you don't resolve the question of what is the legal effect of our having passed it, it will be difficult to take it again on the floor.
It did not end there. During the proceedings in the chamber, the first deputy minority whip, Habib Idris, raised the question about why the bill was featured on the order paper the previous day, but is missing the next time.
When we drew the attention of the Speaker to the advertisement, he indicated that he did not recall approving that it should be advertised.
The minority leader, Alexander Afeomaken, then rose to his feet and argued that this government has no option than to pass the bill into law.
Only yesterday, when we're raising this issue, Mr. Speaker, you were saying that the bill must pass. Now you are in government, you are in the hot seat. When the IMF, the World Bank, IPU threatening, you are now running away, you are saying procedure. Which mistake? There was nothing administratively in error. You force LGBT on the throat of the Akuffo government. Today, you don't want LGBT. You would want it. Mube pepper. Mube pepper. You use it to win election. Now, when your stakeholders, the international community is warning you, you want to run away. Run to where?
Lead proponent of the bill, who doubles as NPP's MP for Asin South, John Intimfojo, then addressed the press and accused government of deliberate tactics to delay the passage of the bill into law.
We on the minority side of Parliament are very disappointed in the NDC government for their shameful shifts in position on a matter that is very important to 93% of our population, as per Afro Barometer survey conducted. We are asking NDC government, where is the Human Sexual Rights Bill, which had gone through all the processes and approved? Today, the majority leader is telling us that Speaker is not aware. The clerk is not aware. And the first deputy speaker is saying he's not aware. But he chaired the committee that approved this bill as private members' bill. This goes clearly to indicate that there seems to be a clear attempt by NDC government to run away from this bill. We are demanding that the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill be passed now. Be passed now. And not deferred to any other time.
Away from Parliament, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources is engaging key stakeholders in the implementation of the new mining law beginning 2026. So far, 300 licenses have totally been revoked for failing to follow mining rules.
The Mining Act 2006, Act 703, was promulgated in 2006 and is a key legislation regulating mining in Ghana. According to the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, the mining laws are part of the problems, and so new laws are needed to regulate the alien sector. He revealed that processes to amend the act was 90% complete.
We are 90% complete in overhauling the law. My target is that by next year, a new law that will have key provisions. For example, Maincom will not have the luxury of just issuing licenses sitting in the comfort of Accra. And they give a license in, say, Nkawie to somebody who has never been in the Ashanti region. This is his first time he's going there. And even the coordinates that they've given him, whether it's in the water body, they've given him the license. It's not going to happen again.
300 mining licenses have so far been totally revoked for failing to follow rules.
A lot of irregularities, over 1,000 something. And so we want to create better systems where everybody can see that this is the processes. The MCAS is so transparent that it shouldn't be somebody with political connections who should be able to apply. And it discourages people from doing the right thing. I should be able to know the day that my license will expire, so I'll take steps to correct it.
Managing Director of the Ghana Water Company Limited, Adam Mutawakilu, expressed grave concern about the alarming turbidity levels of water bodies meant for treatment.
With the accumulation of silt, as you indicated, some of our intakes have silted to a level that we use submersible pump that are deep down. So you see that the silt is here, the pump is down there. So with the clean water at the top, the pumps still find it difficult to get clean water for our processing.
Both institutions have pledged their unwavering commitment to restoring the dignity of existing water bodies.
When President John Dramani Mahama reinstated parent-teacher associations in July, many parents saw it as a return of community voice and school management after nearly 8 years. But barely months into the directive, a fresh dispute has emerged, this time over who truly controls the PTAs. There's more in the following report.
In 2017, when the free senior high school policy took off, PTAs were quietly dissolved. Government said the move would ease parents' financial burden. Then, in July this year, President John Dramani Mahama ordered their full reinstatement, and the Ghana Education Service GES was directed to operationalize the order. Months on, a new controversy has emerged. GES has cautioned schools nationwide against collecting unauthorized PTA levies to bring order, transparency and fairness. But the National Council of Parent-Teacher Association disagrees and has dragged both the GES and the Attorney General to court. The association argues GES is interfering with the rights of PTAs despite guidelines that recognize PTAs as autonomous bodies. The parents are challenging the clause that requires headmasters to approve withdrawal applications before PTA executives access association funds. The council says that requirement has no legitimacy. Another clause requires PTA accounts be externally audited as part of school accounts by the Auditor Generals. A move, the council says, gives government unlawful control over their finances. The National Council is asking an Accra High Court to restrain the GES and the Attorney General from implementing what it calls the approved guidelines for PTAs in senior high schools. For now, the National PTA Council is demanding explicit protection of its autonomy. The GES insists it is acting within its mandate.
Ghana recorded a trade surplus with Burkina Faso amounting to 576 million cedis and Côte d'Ivoire 378 million cedis, but a deficit with Togo valued at 539 million cedis. Informal trade accounted for 61.2% of all trade with Togo, 55.7% with Côte d'Ivoire, and 37.1% with Burkina Faso. For informal exports, alcoholic drinks stood at 187 million cedis, soft drinks was 170 million cedis. Other informal exports were petrol and second-hand clothes. For informal imports, cooking oil was 270 million cedis, mattresses 171 million cedis, rice 143 million cedis, and livestock 159 million cedis.
Ghana's economy extends far beyond formal trade systems. Every day, exchanges across our borders contribute billions of Ghana cedis to national and regional growth. They sustain families, they feed communities, and they keep markets alive. Every cedi in that figure reflects goods, it reflects people, and it reflects communities engaged in daily cross-border exchange that until now has gone largely unmeasured.
Recognizing that informal trade is vital for household income, but present challenges like reduced tax collection and limited regulation, the GSS offered key recommendation.
There is a need to support informal traders through upgrading of border infrastructure and provision of registration, access to credit, and training to make trade faster and easier.
The data comes from GSS's first ever national ICBT survey, which covered the period from October to December 2024, gathering information from 321 active border points.
Now, the Africa Capacity Building Foundation is calling on African governments to prioritize effective public financial management and invest in continuous training for staff to keep pace with modern practices. PFM remains a vital yet underperforming pillar of governance across the continent, with systematic inefficiencies hampering revenue mobilization and service delivery.
Despite ongoing reforms, weak accountability, politicized budgeting, and fragmented oversight continue to drain resources and limit the impact of public investment. These challenges undermine sustainable development, erode public trust, and constrain Africa's ability to finance its own growth agenda. Speaking at the opening of Ghana's National Workshop on Enhancing Leadership and Governance in Public Financial Management, ACBF Director for Programs and Impact, Abdraman Diko, stressed the need for regular capacity building to ensure optimal performance from public servants.
Well, it's crucial because that's the heart of the government. When we talk about public financial management, it's those who are in charge of managing the public finances in the country. So they are at the beginning and at the central of the.
We ayan sama horo timi course or channel so. I'm not so Jimmy or Harrison so bad in the Adobe Edomania Besansumo.